Hello and welcome back to another podcast episode of Stoke Fan TV with myself, Max.
And me, Sam.
And today's guest needs no introduction. You've seen him before, he knows his stuff, but we'll introduce him anyway. It's Dale. Hey up, Dale. How you doing?
Hello, both. You okay?
Yeah, man. Well, we're all good. We're all good because Stoke have survived. Oh, big sigh of relief. Ooh. you know. So that's good. That's happy days. Before we start, we'll probably just mention that Sam might look a bit. It might look a bit strange, Sam, because he's currently out metal detecting. So he's sat in his car. It's a bit hot today, Sam, for you to be metal detecting.
Yeah, it's very hot. I've had to come and sit in the aircon to do the show.
Have you found anything yet, Sam? Have you dug up anything, any prizes?
No, no, nothing today, Max. Nothing of any interest.
Nothing. Well, I tell you what, Sam. That leads me on to the next thing. You could actually win some prizes if you go and download the Match Bingo app because today's video is sponsored by Match Bingo. Now, if you don't know what Match Bingo is, it's a blend of bingo with sport, and that's right. And there's a card, and there's events that happen, and everything gets ticked off. There's prizes to be won. Over 18s and UK only. There's a scannable QR code in the corner. There's a link in the description. Follow those links, download the app, give it a go, and let us know what you think in the comments. Right, anyway, moving on to today's show. So it's official. Stoke have survived another relegation scare. That's the second relegation scare in a row. We don't like the fact that this is becoming fairly common nowadays, but it's good. It's happy days. And I think what we'll do is this show we'll touch on that briefly, but we're also going to be discussing some of the ins and outs in terms of contracts, who signed new contract, who's been let go, and we will look at that. And there's been a couple of notable ones, I'd say. But let's start with what you boys think. Stoke safe. Sam, did you watch that last game? Did you watch the Derby game? Didn't you say it was going to be a win for Derby? Isn't that right, Sam? Did you? Did you?
No, I got it spot on into Max. I just don't want to admit it. 0-0, called it. I didn't watch it. I listened to it on the radio, to be fair. Um, but no, it turns out I think Victor made a few good saves. It's good news that we're safe. I didn't get the prediction right on Hull going down. I was surprised that Hull got a draw at Portsmouth. But yeah, Luton couldn't win, so that was it. West Brom had them, didn't they?
Yeah, I was really surprised by that. Dale, did you watch the final game of the season?
I did indeed. I got off to watch it before work and wish I didn't, but I had to. It was, I think it was one of them games where maybe both teams set up not to lose, and it was reflective on the performance from both teams. It was a poor game, wasn't it? It was a rubbish game. Even Robin said it was rubbish, but it was one of them games where, Stoke needed a point. They got a point. Derby needed to win, or a point. They got a point, or the results went for them. And yeah, we survived, but didn't like it. Didn't like the season. Glad it's over. Move on to next season, eh?
Yeah, 100%. Let's move on to next season as quickly as possible. That game, as I said, 0-0. The crossbar helped us a couple of times. How that ball to go to the back of net from that? I don't know. Robbins went there. I think he kind of parked the bus a little bit personally. And then what? And why wouldn't you? You have to. You just need a point, don't you?
As
Just
soon
need
as
points.
Luton started to get battered, obviously the players would have heard that Luton were getting battered, so they'd have just both parked the bus and killed the game off really as soon as both teams knew that they were safe.
Possibly, yeah. It was one of them where it was a bit of a bore draw. Anyway, can we now put that season behind us? And now let's look to the future. And the first thing, the fact that we'd offered Baker a new contract. Happy days. Are we all happy about Baker getting a new contract?
Yeah, 100%. Really good decision. He's obviously shone since he's come back from being on loan at Blackburn. I think he's had about 9 goals. Captain material as well. Definitely one that we need to keep around at the club. And we said this on the show the other week.
Absolutely, Dale. You thinking a similar thing? I'll be surprised if you're not.
Yeah, 100% with Sam. Like I say, went on loan to Blackburn and to start the season. I think that was caused a little bit of confusion with Stoke fans. Why we're sending somebody of his, quality out. obviously start the season we had Shuey in charge, didn't we? And different setup in midfield. But Robin's come in, recalled him. It's like a new signing. Once in January, come back straight into the midfield, set piece man, few goals. And like Sam says, he is material for like captain material. He's somebody that you need around the squad, somebody that you need in the team, and pretty happy that he's been given another 12 months. See what happens. See what happens in the summer with the rest of the incomings and outgoings, maybe.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? I think we're going to see a bit of a shake-up. Personally, I've heard Robbins. Didn't Robbins mention about building a team or something along this lines? I can't quite remember. And also, you've got this new head of recruitment who came in, so surely there's something there. But what we have to touch, and we've got to touch on this. So some players have obviously they've been let go, haven't they? Obviously, all the loan players have gone back. We knew that was going to happen anyway, and we can touch on that in a bit. And then in another show previously, we said like we went through all the players, or at least half the players, the ones who were coming out of contract, if they should be offered a new one. Now, I think we'll start with what I think is probably the most controversial one, which is Jordan Thompson. So Jordan Thompson has been let go. Put out a vote on Facebook. Well, the question was, should Stoke have offered Jordan Thompson a new contract, yes or no? 76% of the voters thought that he should have been offered a new contract. It's quite a lot. Who wants to start with this one? Jordan Thompson, should he have been offered a new contract, in your opinion?
He's one of them, isn't he, Thompson? He's been at the club 5.5 years, and some fans love him, some fans don't rate him. But he's Mr. Versatile at the end of the day. He can play in midfield, he can play at left back. That's a massive area problem, isn't it? At Stoke left back. That's shown this season. He slotted in at left back for a few games, and he was solid, and he slotted in the midfield, and he was solid, and he'll come on, he'll do a job. I personally think he should have been offered another 12 months at least, just so that we've got that cover at left back, because we don't know what's happening, do we, this season? We've released players, and players have gone back on loan. Players have gone back to parent clubs, and that left back problem is a massive problem for Stoke. And having him with his left peg, although he's probably not the fastest in the world, not the strongest, but he is versatile. He is Mr. Reliable, isn't he? So personally, I think they should have given him another 12 months, but we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, do we? We don't know what Robbins is thinking, what Torrance, who's come in, head of recruitment's thinking, Walters, all the others. So just have to trust him, I guess.
Yeah, it seems like it's interesting. You sort of said there. Obviously, some fans are. He's kind of been a bit Marmite at times, hasn't he, JT? I mean, I'll admit that there's been times during his stay at Stoke where I've questioned whether he should be playing for Stoke and questioned whether he's good enough. The thing that kind of I found quite interesting is the last few games he was playing in before his injury. He seemed to really kind of step up a little bit for me, which I was quite surprised by, actually, because I was one of the ones who was thinking I'm not sure if he's good enough to be in the Stoke team. But I will say he is that kind of almost Mr. Versatile player. Will we regret it? Will we regret not having another squad player in there? I don't know. I mean, Sam, what do you think to JT? Would you have offered him a new contract, Sam?
You've both hit it the nail on the head. He's a versatile player, and you can rely on it if you put him anywhere to work his arse off and actually show pride in what he does and the passion. He's got the passion, but you've both also said it. He's not the greatest footballer at times, and he makes silly mistakes. And he's one of the players that I'd always want on the bench, and I'd want somebody better than him as the starting player.
Squad player.
I think it could be one that we might regret if we don't get any signings in the summer, but we need quite a lot of signings in the summer. I've said this before, and that just makes that list a little bit longer of what we need. Obviously, we've lost Stevens. He's gone now because his contract has expired, so that's a left back gone. We've lost Thompson, who's a covering left back. that left back guy from where was it, Coventry, Wilson Esbrand, he's now gone as well. So what left backs do we actually have?
Okay, that's a good point. I mean, and there's Gooch as well. There's another one to mention as a left. He's been playing left back as well, and he's been let go. What do you think, Stoke fans? JT divides a bit of opinion. Let us know in the comments. Would you have kept him? Would you have offered him another contract? I suppose. Do we know what his injury situation was as well? Do we know? Do we think that could have played a role? Well, again, we're not there. We're not behind the scenes. We don't know all the ins and outs, and I'm sure there's more to it and everything. But yeah, that's what we think on JT. Just before we move on to the next section, I just want to mention again, this video is sponsored by Match Bingo. If you want to have a go at playing it, there's a QR code in the corner of the screen. There's a link in the description. You can download the app and have a go. It's a blend of bingo and sport. It's good fun, and there's prizes to be won. Give it a go. Over 18s, UK only. Right. There's others that have been released as well. Gooch, just there. We said in the show, I remember it, and I remember saying, "Oh, Gooch, I'm not sure I'd keep Gooch." But again, it seems like it's another player that towards the end of the season had to kind of come in back from injury as well, and just felt useful. And he's another player that's another squad player, and he's another player who's quite versatile. That's two quite versatile players. I mean, I'd say Gooch is probably more versatile than JT, but that's only because he's played in several hundred positions at various stages during his career. What do you boys think to Gooch? Yes or no? Do you think would you have offered a new contract? Do you think that's probably the right decision?
I think difficult one with Gooch because you say he's versatile. He can play right back. He can play left back. Obviously, a left back with the right foot, you always know what he's going to do. He always cuts inside, so it's players will work him out. He comes on, he puts a shift in. He's played on the right wing up top, hasn't he, as well previously when we've had injuries. And difficult one. He's been there 2 years, but you've got to look. How old is he? 29, is he? Are Stoke planning for a younger team? Is there things going on where they're bringing players from the academy into the first team potentially next season? Have they got names? Have they got players that they want to bring in them positions, and they've got to free up them positions? But I'd probably say I agree with releasing Gooch overall. I'd agree with that one.
Sam, yourself, what do you think? Do you echo what Dale said? What's your thoughts on it?
I actually prefer Gooch to JT and would have probably wanted to see Gooch stay for another year personally. I think he's got more ability than JT. I think he's a better footballer. And I've seen Gooch cut inside with his right foot from that left wing position and score a couple of good goals for Stoke. And yes, granted, he's been playing in a defensive position recently at left back, but I've seen Gooch make much more successful dribbles down that left hand side than anyone else on that left side this season, and he can put a ball in the box. So yeah, I'm a little bit iffy about Gooch going, but we'll see.
And there's another left back out the picture. Again, let us know in the comments, Stoke fans. What do you think? Would you have kept Gooch? Would you have kept JT? These are both players that can play in multiple positions. Next one I just wanted to mention, Tezgal. Has anyone heard if Tezgal's got a new contract? Because I'd like to see Tezgal be offered a new contract, mate.
He is somebody that you need to tie down because you need to try and tie down your talent, don't you? If he signs a new contract, maybe send him out on loan, bring him, get him in League One or League Two, do what they did with Lowe, send Lowe out. And it didn't work when he came back, but he is a good player. Well, he can be a good player. I remember when we played Cardiff in the Cup, and he started and he played the whole match, didn't he? He played the extra time. took a penalty, scored the penalty, and the passion that he showed in that game was immense. As a local lad, the fans loved him, and yeah, I hope he signs a new contract and he gets brought on because I think he is a talented player.
Yeah, I really, really want it to work for Tezgel just because of what you just said there. The fact he's a local lad, he's a product of the academy, isn't he? So it's just one of those things I think in football. As a fan, I'd love to see homegrown talent that's come through the academy and is thriving because for me, that's why the academy is there.
I'd offer him a new contract on the simple reason that I would hate to see him go to another team and start playing really, really well if we release him.
And do you think he would do that, Sam?
I think he's got the ability to become a really good striker, judging on his goal scoring records in the under 21s for various seasons now on the trot. There's definitely ability there. And yes, if it means signing him on a long contract, loaning him out to say Warsaw like we did below, then fair enough. But at least let him stay there for the whole season and don't recall him and not play him.
If he does sign a new contract, what does Stoke do? Do they loan him out, like you just said? Do they start playing him more often? We tend to be playing one striker up top, don't we? And I can't necessarily see that changing unless we're playing like 3-5-2 like we did in the last game against Derby. I don't know. So Tezgel, what do you think, Stoke fans? Again, in the comments below. There's a couple of others. I'm not sure if they've been offered new contracts. I think Frank Fielding is one, and I think
Bonham.
there's another one.
Bonham.
Bonham. That's right. Yeah, Bonham. Sorry, I forgot that one. Yeah, Bonham. So I don't know if they've been offered new contracts. I don't want to go into that too much in this particular show, but I'd say that again, do we want some of the older players, the ones who aren't necessarily challenging for the gloves? Do we want them as players signing contracts, or would we rather have them as coaches? You've mentioned it in the past, Sam, haven't you?
Yeah, I think seen Frank Fielding play one game for Stoke since he's been here.
Mm.
And granted, yeah, it was probably because we needed him because we had no other goalkeepers. And if he was a coach, then we wouldn't have had him. So it's a tricky one, isn't it? It's
Got young players for that, though, haven't we? Some talented young keepers if we really, really, really need them.
true. So I don't know. I can't see him being on a lot of money, but I believe that he's a very influential character in the changing room. Is Frankie? So
Yeah, but I think number one's Victor, isn't he? All day long. Bonham's been benched most of the season, played a couple of cup games. Fielding, like Sam says, I think he's played once since he's been at Stoke. Tommy Simpkin will be coming back, won't he, as well? He's been on loan at Walsall. England under 19 international as well. Very, very talented. Is he going to sneak himself onto the bench, or is he going to be loaned out next season again? Are they going to keep Fielding and Bonham to bring on him? Lots of if, buts, and maybes, isn't it? Again,
Who knows? Hey, listen, there's so many. We haven't even got into loan players, and I'm sure that shows throughout the summer, as we keep doing them, there's going to be, oh, is he coming in? Should we get rid of him? There'll be players coming and going. We can all have our say. If you want to come on the show and have a chinwag with us all, by the way, you know what to do. Get in contact with us on the Facebook page. Drop us an email, sftv@dancefiremedia.com. Let us know if you want to come on and have a discussion as we are now. We're all Stoke fans. This is been set up just so we can have a good chat. Let's wrap up the show. Today's video has been sponsored by Match Bingo. There's a QR code in the corner. There's a link in the description. It blends bingo with sport, and you can download it and have a go. Over 18s UK only. And maybe win some prizes. You'll have to let us know what you think of it. Right, well, that's goodbye from me.
goodbye from me.
goodbye from me.
And we'll see you all on another podcast episode of Stoke Fan TV.